front end for RUPlatePal, and we can see here we kind of have a nice mountain view in the background, which moves forward when we're kind of scrolling through our website. And this is called the parallax effect, where each of these are an individual view which have kind of a spring animation based on physics, where they'll move up based on our scroll position. But basically, in our front end, we have this splash page, which will take us to kind of see what RUPlatePal really is, and we can see what recipes our food bank can make. And here are our recipes, and these are kind of dynamically created based on the ingredients that we have. And so we can see an example is creamy asparagus risotto side dish, and we can click the recipe here, and we see a little summary and also the instructions on how to make it. And then on the bottom, we kind of have basic questions that a pantry may ask RUPlatePal. So they may ask, how can my pantry get food from RUPlatePal? And we'll answer that, and also a small contact section as well. So we can get messages from any pantry looking to kind of inquire about our service. And at the top here, we also have kind of the ingredient list. If we click, we see like the amount of ingredients. So this is what we're basing our recipes off of. And going into the actual code, we created this using React and Vite.js. We also use TypeScript rather than JavaScript, and in some cases it may be showing some errors only because of some TypeScript things, but those are not too important. So we have our different sections, like our contact section, our about section here, and we also have our main section for all of our parallax views. So we can see each as a separate layer that's moving at different speeds and based on a different offset. So yeah, that's the basics of our front end for RUPlatePal.
RUPlatePals, which is basically a bridge between the RU food pantry and the RU dining halls. So basically our idea was that the dining halls, at the end of the day, they have lots of leftover food, just pounds and pounds of rice, all these vegetables, all these pieces of food that could be otherwise used in the food pantry to create better meals. So from there, we decided to create this, RUPlatePals. So a quick overview of how it works. So we're basically generating data from supposedly what the dining halls would have leftover food. Ideally, we would have sensors inside the trays and stuff like that, so at the end of the day, it would automatically be updated, but we couldn't actually get the real dining hall data, so we just made it up. We use Google Sheets for that because it's hosted in Google Cloud and it can be easily accessed through their API. We called the Google Cloud API to get the Sheets data, and we put it into a list in order to get all the ingredients that we have. From there, we cross-referenced it with a list of basically common ingredients. So obviously, if the Bush Dining Hall has Jack Daniel's chicken can't really be used to create other meals. But it's something like Alfredo sauce, something very general, that can be used. So we basically created a list of all the ingredients that can be used, such as like chicken or Alfredo sauce or whatever. So from there, we called the Spoonacular API. We already called it because it takes a while to run. From there, we use all the ingredients, and we generate a list of recipes that can be created using these ingredients. So that is actually created in the all recipes.json. It is looking ugly right now, so I will fix that. Here we are. So as you can see, we have, let's just say, creamy asparagus risotto side dish. So it tells you what ingredients you have, what ingredients are missed, just the basic ingredients, just like that. From there, we use those recipes that we generated that these food pantries can make, and we also get other information from them, such as how to make it. So the instructions URL and the recipe information. So the instructions, we again call the Spoonacular API using this recipe ID that we just generated. And from there, it gives you exactly what steps to make these recipes. So let's just see, let's see recipe info. So right here, you can see that this is the first recipe. So this would be the, I believe it is the creamy asparagus risotto side dish. So we can see that it's not a vegetarian dish, it's not vegan, but it has all of these statistics that we can use and put on our website. So with the health score, the price per serving, there's also calorie info and units and basically how to make it. Also instructions of how to make it too. From there, we put this all into JSON files, all on the left side, and we send it to our front end, so the front end can use.